Hey guys, this is Locke. In this video, I'm going to be talking all about the new enhancement scrolls that we've been added to the equipment screen. So real quick, how do you add enhancements to your gear? You basically click on the gear you want, click on enhancement, and then you put the scrolls into the slot and click the enhancement button. That's how you get these stats added. So what does this actually do? So there are several different types of enhancements. Several different types of enhancement scrolls. There's the common, the greater, the rare, and the legendary, and each of these has a chance to add attributes to your gear. For weapons, you need 2 of each scroll. For anything else, like any other armor piece, you only need 1 scroll per attempt. And they give you different numbers of stats depending on the scroll that you use. Like for example, if you're using a common scroll, you only get 1 stat. If you're using a green, you get 1 to 2. The blue ones, you get 2 to 3. And then for the red ones, the legendary ones, you get 3 stats. First, I'm going to talk about how to acquire these scrolls, and then I'm going to talk about what stats you want on each piece of gear. So if you go to the shop screen, Alice, and then you'll go down to the common screen over here, the common shop. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see how you can get these. Now, I definitely recommend everyone buys this. You should buy this every day while this event is going on. It lasts for only 14 days, so definitely buy this every single day. Make sure you get it. You can also get this as well. It gives you 100 scrolls, and it's you can get different things there. You might be able to get some legendary scrolls here. But you can get anything. So there's 100 scrolls in here, so make sure you buy this as well. And then finally, this one. Now, I actually recommend everybody, including free-to-play players, to at least buy 1 of these. When I say 1, for 400 rubies, you get 20 scrolls. 20 scrolls means you can equip. You basically need six scrolls to equip 1 unit with. Every single piece has stats. So I recommend people at least get 1, if not 2, to give everybody some stats, right? Like even if you get like the most useless stat you can think of, I don't know what you think it is. Maybe it's like defense efficiency or block efficiency or something. If you have no block rate, maybe you think that's the useless stat. But having a little bit of that is still better than nothing at all, right? So what you want to do is you want to buy at least 1 or 2 of these. Probably 2 of these is better, unless you got really lucky with this and you happen to get a bunch of legendary scrolls in here. But for most people, I would assume you would spend 800 rubies, which is less than 1 multi-pull, right? That's like a little bit more than seven single pulls on your summons. So you would have, if you get 2 of those, you would have 40 scrolls, right? And what you would do is your 4 main units, whatever they are. Like in my case, it's these 4. What you want to do is you want to go to equipment, just target the first piece of equipment that you want and enhance it. And whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Like whatever the stats that come up, just go to the next piece, right? Then go to the next piece like this and start enhancing that and work your way down so that all of your main 4 units have some kind of enhanced stats. The reason I'm just saying to add whatever you want right now is because eventually you would be spending a lot on this. Like you would want to be spending a lot of these scrolls to get the perfect stats that you want, but you don't know when that'll be. It might be like 50 attempts later or 100 attempts later, or maybe you might get really lucky and get it in like 5 attempts or something, right? But you don't know, and right now you want to really spread out your stats, make your entire party stronger, than just focusing on 1 piece of gear and trying to get the best stats possible. So that's why I even recommend everyone just buy 40 scrolls for 800 rubies. I think that's a pretty good deal. So you would be able to equip it on, get every single piece of gear that's on your 4 main party. You would be able to increase that. Maybe you even have like 5 or 6 main equipment sets, and so you can do that for 5 or 6, whatever you have. So I would recommend spreading it out first, right, and then focus on trying to increase your get the best possible stats afterwards. But first of all, you really just want to get everybody have some kind of enhancement on there. The second thing that I want to mention before talking about like the best stats is to actually save the other scrolls. Don't craft them yet. I will tell you why. First of all, I'm going to show you the crafting option. So you can go to the crafting, you can go to miscellaneous, and you can craft the higher tier scrolls with the lower tier scrolls. So for example, you can use 10 common scrolls to craft one greater scroll, and so on and so on. So you can keep doing this until you get to a legendary scroll. But the amount of, like, say, greater or even like common scrolls to get to one legendary scroll is insane, because you need 15 rare scrolls to get to one legendary, and you need like 10. So you need basically 150 of these greater enhancement scrolls to get one legendary scroll. So instead, I think there's a better thing you can do, especially if you're a free-to-play player, and especially if you have not yet hit your 2 million total account CP. So what you want to do is you want to, whoever has a legendary equipment, like, in your party, you would have started equipping more and more people with legendary equipment, right? Go to them, whatever they have, use enhancement, and use one of the lower tier scrolls. Maybe you want to start with the greater tiers. It doesn't even have to be the common one, but basically you want to do this, and whatever it says, just click applied and move on to the next piece of gear, like this, and oops, and enhance it. And the reason you're doing this is so that you build up your total account CP, because even these things give you a bit of CP. Like, see, I just got 168 CP from one stat. Sometimes I might get lucky with this and get two, right? So I would highly recommend using these common and greater scrolls to just put it on your other unused gears if you have not yet hit your 2 million total account CP. Because once you hit that 2 million total account CP, you get Shane Plus for free, and you get a bunch of other stuff on the way that is also pretty good. So I would recommend that, for the free-to-play players, the players that have not yet hit the 2 million account CP, I highly recommend you just spread out your scrolls right now, and like the other units that you have legendary equipment on, put it on there. Maybe you want to only equip like half of it or something. Like, maybe you are thinking that as you're getting more and more, as your account progresses, maybe you want to start using some of these items to enhance enhance your main team, and that could be the case. So if that is the case, what you can do is, as soon as you enhance something, right? Like in this case, I'm going to enhance this as an example. Sorry, not enhance, enchant. That's the word. As soon as I enchant something like this, what I can do is click on this button right here to lock this. So what that means is that, since now I know that it's locked, whenever I, like, say I want to make a Transcend 5 Avalanche Helm at some point, right? So I'm looking through my gears, and I am taking Avalanche Helms off of people to make that Transcend 5 Helm, and then I notice this one, and and right away, even just by looking at it, I know it's locked. So I'm like, oh, okay, I've enhanced it. I don't need to worry about it. You also have that other icon there as well, like that yellow glowy thing. You can look at that right away and see that it's enhanced as well. So you can just move on to a different piece. But even if you have, like, something like this, that's not such a great enhancement. 292 HP isn't fantastic. So maybe you can actually just lock the pieces that are great, right? Like when you're using these green scrolls, maybe you happen to get a piece with like plus crit rate and plus crit damage or something, and you're like, wow, that's a really nice piece. Maybe I want to keep that for some future use or something, right? So in that case, you can just lock those, so that you don't have to worry about, whenever you're thinking of transcending these, you don't have to go to each of these, scroll down to see what your enhancement is, and do it. You can just lock it now whenever you think it's a good piece, so that later on, when you want to invest in, like your next gear set or something, you can just look for these locked gears, and you can start, you can start there. So you're saving yourself a lot of time just by doing this. So this is something that I recommend for people to do, so that you're building your account CP, you're getting to that 2 million faster. And then you won't be for me, when I got to like 1.9, I was really struggling to get that last 100,000 CP. So hopefully something like this will help you in the long run, instead of using these scrolls to just get the blue and red ones now. Like, instead of crafting 150 of these common ones to get a red one, I recommend you do this instead. That's just my opinion. If you think it's better to just get the blue and red ones, then go for it. Now finally, what kind of stats do I want on my units? So if you are looking for PvP, the answer is quite simple actually. You really want to get attack speed on everything that you can. So you want to keep enhancing it until you get to something that gives you a lot of attack speed. Like this one is giving me 119 attack speed, and I guess 115 is the maximum you can get on a weapon. And I think for the armor pieces, it's different. I think for the armor pieces, yeah, it's maybe like 60. So I think uh, so for PvP, you want to get attack speed on everything except for your gloves, because the gloves actually doesn't give attack speed. It gives you different stats. So you can only get certain stats on certain pieces. I'm not sure exactly what stats you can get on which piece yet. All I know is for a glove piece, you cannot get attack speed. But for everything else, you can. As you can see, I have attack speed on everything else here. So that's what you want to do for PvP. For PvE, you really just want to have like any kind of DPS for your DPS. Like you can have attack, crit rate, crit damage, attack speed. Like all of those are helpful for a DPS, right? For PvE. So any combinations of those is good for PvP. Sorry, for PvE. And really at the beginning, like especially if you're a free-to-play player, you can't like maximize exactly what you want to get, right? You have to just go with whatever you have right now and then later figure it out. So right now, as I mentioned, just give you know enchant all of your gears once and only once, and move on to the next piece. And then later, when you have gotten all your main like 5-6 set pieces, and all of them have at least been enhanced once, then you can start focusing on whichever unit you want to, and figure out the best stats to go where and whatnot. So for PvP, as I mentioned, attack speed is what you really want on everything except for your gloves. For PvE, for DPSs, as I mentioned, you really want any kind of DPS stat. There isn't any one that's better than the other. If you already have a very high crit rate, like for example my cousin has a 95% crit rate, then you really want to get crit damage instead of attack or crit rate, because you already have a very high crit rate, and crit damage will now give you even more stats than that flat out attack. For your tanks, you really want to have, again, as much defense and HP as possible, especially for PvE. For block tanks, you also want to have a high block rate and block efficiency. And then for your healers, you want to have a mix now. You want to have a mix of defense, HP, and also cooldown, because the more heals you can get off, the better. So you want to mix and match there to like right now you can't really be too picky. Like I would really like to have more cooldown on my Karen, but I didn't get lucky, so I just went with whatever I have now, and then later on I'm going to focus when I have enough scrolls to spare. So that covers DPS, tanks, and healers. Oh, one other thing I should mention. I was going to do a separate video for this later on, talking about the deals, but I highly do not recommend. Where is it? This. Like I think it's a waste. Like I think this is the pricing on this is ridiculous. So I definitely do not recommend anyone buy either of these packs. If you really want to get 100 scrolls, you can do that for 2,000 rupees, right? Then that's so much cheaper than spending 62 Canadian dollars, whatever it translates to in American US dollars. So I would just, if you want to get 100, I would just go here instead and buy this. So you can, for 2,000 rupees, you can get 100 scrolls. Don't spend that 50 US dollar or something on that pack, because I think it's a bit of a waste in my opinion. So that's it for this video. I hope it helps. I hope it gives you guys some ideas and guides you through this. Later on, you can start specializing. Right now, again, I only got that 100, so I got the 100 scrolls from that, and I was kind of able to get attack speed on most of my units with that already. See, I have attack speed here. So these are the two main PvP DPS sets that I have, and I have attack speed on everything except for the gloves, which you cannot get attack speed on. So with 100 scrolls, it's a lot. So I don't think you need to buy the one for the like 50 US dollars, because I don't think you need a lot unless you're really trying to min and max like right now and you're a huge whale, I guess. But the 100 scrolls is really enough for most people. So I really think that, most players, especially free to play players, should probably spend 400, if not 800 rupees. And for the people that are at like mid tier or want to get a boost right away, you should spend like 2,000 rupees and get the 100 scrolls and outfit your party with these enhancements. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope to see you guys next time. Take care now.